Hey everyone, it's George from Blockchain DXB and today is the 25th of April 2023 and to be honest guys, the price of Bitcoin is not looking good, the price of Ethereum is not looking good and to be honest, the overall global cryptocurrency market is not looking ideal either. So we'll definitely go ahead and look at what is going on in the world of cryptocurrencies, DeFi, NFTs and quite a lot more. Now listen guys, one thing which I've often said in my Crypto and Coffee Date podcast is, when it comes to Bitcoin price, all price predictions are 100% right 50% of the time, and I've said this thing over and over again, and Standard Chartered has come up with a prediction of the price of Bitcoin to reach $100,000. So we'll definitely go ahead and explore what the head of digital asset research for Standard Chartered is predicting regarding the price of Bitcoin by the year end 2024. Now this might seem like a positive news, but unfortunately guys, numerous predictions have been made in the past. Guys, we're also going to be discussing some news regarding North Korea, and looks like the US Department of Treasury is sanctioning 3 individuals who have been involved in some notorious activity, and all 3 of them have been from North Korea. So definitely not ideal. And guys, regarding Binance, we have some update, and this is to do with Russia. Now listen to this guys. The news that is circulating right now is that Binance has reopened some of its operation in Russia. Now, unfortunately, at this point of time, I can't say if this is legitimate news or not, because the article which has been published does take the information from a local media channel in Russia, and those guys do not give out the official names, but it gives out information only from customer service. So I'll go ahead and explain and give my thoughts and opinions on that. Now, unfortunately, if this news turns out to be true, I really am not sure what the consequences for Binance is, because Russia is still under sanctions by majority of the countries in the West. So Binance reopening certain areas of business in Russia may definitely not be ideal, but we'll definitely go and have a look at what the facts are. And guys, like we do in every Crypto and Coffee Date podcast, I'm going to be discussing some news from Dubai, UAE and the Middle East. Now, the first news that I have is from Abu Dhabi, and this news, guys, is to do with the consultation paper. So the official news is that the Regulatory Authority of Abu Dhabi Global Market, also called as ADGM, has issued consultation paper to seek views on its proposed new framework for foundations that facilitate distributed ledger technology and token issuance. And look guys, if you're someone who's working in the cryptocurrency space, have hands-on experience working in DLT, I would definitely recommend you to read through the consultation paper, because it is only 13 pages long. And if you are an expert or do have any suggestions, I'll also share the contact details on where you can give them feedback. So definitely critical stuff. And the second news, guys, is to do with an event which is taking place on the 20th of June, and this is by ITP Media, and the event is called as Digital Future Forum. Guys, I was looking at the agenda, unfortunately, I could not see Bitcoin mentioned absolutely anywhere, but because it is digital, I'm pretty much sure they will be discussing about blockchain and cryptocurrencies. I would have been really content if I saw some bits and pieces of information on how Bitcoin is actually going to impact not just the digital future industry, but also Dubai, UAE and Middle East. So quite a lot to cover in today's episode, so let's kick start with it right away. Welcome to the Crypto and Coffee Date, the daily podcast that keeps you up to date on all latest developments in the world of cryptocurrencies, blockchain and NFTs. Join us Monday to Friday as you kick off your day with a cup of coffee and a deep dive into the exciting and rapidly evolving world of digital assets. We'll cover the latest news and trends in the cryptocurrency and blockchain space, as well as delve into the growing world of NFTs or non-fungible tokens and metaverse. Plus, we'll keep you updated on the latest developments from Dubai, UAE and the wider Middle East region. Whether you're a seasoned crypto enthusiast or just getting started, Crypto and Coffee Date has something for you. Our expert host will provide insight and analysis on the most important topics in the industry and help you stay up to date on the latest developments. We'll bring you interviews with leading figures in the crypto and blockchain space and explore the ways in which these technologies are changing the world around us, from the impact on traditional financial systems to the potential for revolutionizing industries and transforming societies. We'll cover it all on Crypto and Coffee Date. So tune in and join us for a daily dose of Crypto and Coffee Date, and let's stay ahead of the curve together. We'll start your day off right with the most important news and insights from the world of cryptocurrency, blockchain and the metaverse, and help you navigate this exciting and rapidly evolving landscape. In Crypto and Coffee Date, the daily podcast covers the latest developments in the world of cryptocurrency, blockchain and the metaverse. We'll also bring you updates on the latest news from Dubai, UAE and wider Middle East region. This also includes a range of topics such as developments in the local and blockchain industry, including new projects and initiatives, regulatory updates, and policies related to cryptocurrency and blockchain in the region, local and regional events and conferences focused on crypto and blockchain, interviews with leading figures in Dubai, UAE and Middle East crypto and blockchain community, coverage of any significant news or events related to cryptocurrency and blockchain in the region. By covering these local and regional developments, in addition to the wider world of cryptocurrency and blockchain, Crypto and Coffee at 8 aims to provide a comprehensive overview of the industry and its impact on the Dubai, UAE and Middle East region. Now before we kickstart today's episode, I have an important message, so check this out. Shalhoub Group, a luxury retail and distributor which is headquartered in Dubai, are getting into the NFT game. And here's the deal, guys. They are not just getting into the NFT and metaverse space, they are going to be shaping the NFT, metaverse and Web 3.0 space, which I believe is excellent not just for Dubai and UAE, but also for the global cryptocurrency community as well. And guys, Shalhoub Group's Web 3.0 sneaker brand called Soulmates revealed their first NFT collection on the 12th of April. Now what is really interesting is that it's called as Soulmates, so it's spelled as S for sugar, O for orange, L for Larry. Now instead of E, they have replaced it with Web3 and it is the number 3, mates.xyz. And guys, listen, Shalhoub Group has over half a century's worth of experience in luxury goods, and them getting into the NFT space is a massive deal. Now if you're a sneakerhead, you definitely need to check out soulmates.xyz. And once again, guys, the number is 3 instead of an E. It has all the information, and in the show notes below, you'll get all the information. And listen, guys, if you want to be an early adopter, you can also pre-mint it at www.premint.xyz/soulmates. So definitely check it out. And they have a Discord community as well. And guys, Nick, who is the head of corporate innovation at Shalhoub Group and also the co-founder of Soulmates, has a WhatsApp group where he constantly provides updates in the area of NFTs, Metaverse and Web 3.0. So guys, check out soulmates.xyz and be part of the Soulmates OG NFT that is definitely going to shape the industry. Next, Startup OI is global one tech platform for tech. It offers global high-paying tech jobs with flexibility in working time and location, global free tech events, and tech networks to connect with global like-minded engineers. A brilliant platform to listen to the tech experts in Metaverse and to grab their insights. Now listen, all you have to do is download the app Startup OI. If you're using an Android version, go to Google Store and App Store for iOS devices. Alternatively, you can also click on the show notes below to download Startup OI. Next, guys, listen, if you're into fitness, if you're into adventure, if you want to do something wild but still want to keep your health in check, there is a new podcast in town, a podcast focusing on obstacle course race in the Middle East. The podcast is called the Race Pace Podcast. So check out the Race Pace Podcast across all leading platforms. And the Race Pace Podcast is a peer-to-peer community-driven podcast where they talk all about obstacle course race in the Middle East, from Sandstorm to Spartan Race, from Tough Mudder to Desert Warrior Challenge, and also the Government Gov Games, and quite a lot more. The podcast has interviews with athletes locally and internationally to get inside scoop on how athletes prepare for obstacle course race. In the podcast, they also talk about interesting stories on why they are motivated to do obstacle course race. And that's not all. They also plan to release 7 NFTs. And these NFTs are no ordinary. These NFTs will represent every emirate in the UAE. And listen, guys, these NFTs are going to be absolutely massive. So do one thing, go to Spotify, go to iTunes, go to any leading podcasting platform and search for Rise in the Obstacle Course Race podcast. And finally, guys, not your keys, not your crypto. If you have dabbled with cryptocurrencies and now are seriously getting to protect your cryptocurrencies, there is no better way to protect it by using a hardware wallet. And this is where Ledger Wallet kicks in. And Ledger Wallets are hardware cryptocurrency wallets made by Ledger, a company headquartered in Paris, France. And Ledger's hardware wallets are multi-currency wallets that are used to store private keys for cryptocurrencies offline. And Ledger offers 2 hardware wallets, the Ledger Nano and Ledger Nano X wallets. They are world-class experts with extensive crypto security backgrounds. They continuously look for vulnerabilities in Ledger products in a constant effort to improve the level of security. Now, in today's world, securing these digital assets is a critical challenge, and this is where Ledger kicks in. So click the link below to buy your hardware wallet and support this podcast. It is a brilliant way to support this podcast. So what are you waiting for? The link is in the show notes below. Now, guys, since you're taking care of that, let's kickstart by looking at the global cryptocurrency market. Now, unfortunately, since the last 24 hours, not much has happened in the world of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. The global cryptocurrency market is at $1.16 trillion. Now, since the last 24 hours, though, it is down by 0.25%. The total crypto market volume over the last 24 hours is still ridiculously low at $38.66 billion. Now, if you look at the 24-hour trading volume, it has gone down by 29.08%. And look, guys, with the news circulating right now about the US debt ceiling, it is so critical that Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies does have a massive strong, not just in the cryptocurrency world, but also in the finance world. And if that thing happens, we'll definitely look at the price predictions of someone from Standard Chartered if that will come into fruition. Now, the total volume in DeFi is currently at $3.17 billion, and the total value locked is once again below the $50 billion mark. Now, guys, if you've been listening to the Crypto and Coffee Day podcast, I have been saying time and over again, in order for cryptocurrency to go mainstream, by the second half of this year, the DeFi volume should be at least 4 times or maybe 5 times what it is currently right now. Now, unfortunately, the trend is still not looking good in the world of DeFi. The Lido is still dominating, and it accounts for 23.77%, and $11.42 billion is locked in its protocol. And unfortunately, guys, despite the volume of DeFi being low at $3.17 billion, it is still accounting for 8.34% of the total crypto market 24-hour volume. Now, MakerDAO's total value locked is number 2nd at $7.36 billion, followed by Aave at $5.15 billion, Core Finance at $4.40 billion, and Uniswap at $4.03 billion. Now, guys, what I'm going to be doing from tomorrow onwards is I'm also going to be looking at the 24-hour trading volume of each of the DeFi protocols, so it'll just give us an idea of what the usage of DeFi is. And listen, guys, in order for cryptocurrency to go mainstream, in order for Bitcoin to reach a new all-time high, DeFi has to improve its numbers, probably 10 times or maybe 20 times of what it currently is. Now, apart from DeFi, stablecoins is also not looking good, and one thing which I've said often, the volume is ridiculously low for stablecoins, and apart from that, stablecoin accounts for a majority of the chunk of the total crypto market volume. And one thing which I've said often is, during times of inflation, during times of COVID, and during times of war, unfortunately, Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies have not proved to be a safe haven. Stablecoins, on the other hand, have proved to be a safe haven for the cryptocurrency world. It is completely bizarre, but unfortunately it is true. Now, the volume of stablecoins is down to $34.67 billion, and it accounts for 89.69% of the total crypto market 24-hour volume. And out of this $34.67 billion, Tether USDT accounts for $25.70 billion, followed by Circle USDC at $4.41 billion and Binance BUSD at $2.46 billion. Now, really, I'm not sure. The news regarding Binance reopening some of its operation in Russia or part of its operation or trying to change certain limits, will that have an impact on Binance BUSD? What are your thoughts, guys? Let me know in the comment section below. Now, let's quickly look at the market cap, 24-hour trading volume and dominance between Bitcoin and Ethereum. Bitcoin's market cap is $530 billion, whereas Ethereum's market cap is $221 billion, well below the 50% mark of Bitcoin's market cap. The 24-hour trading volume is not looking good either. Bitcoin's 24-hour trading volume is $17.6 billion, and Ethereum's 24-hour trading volume is $8.53 billion. The dominance for Bitcoin is 45.86%, and Ethereum is 19.10%. Now, in today's episode, guys, I'm very briefly going to be looking at the top 3 decentralized apps working on Binance BNB and Flow blockchain. The number 1 decentralized app is Hooked, and looks like it is something to do with social media. Now, I do not use Hooked. If you guys use it, mention your experience and tell me what your thoughts are in the comment section below. And the number 2nd and number 3rd decentralized app working in Binance BNB and PancakeSwap version 1 is at number 2, and PancakeSwap version 3 is at number 3. And as you know, guys, both of them fall under the exchange category. Now, so far as Flow blockchain is concerned, NBA Top Shot is clearly leading the pack. But listen to this, guys. When I was looking at the information at DAppRadar, I don't want to say what the daily active users were, but do one thing, guys. Go to DAppRadar, look at NBA Top Shot, and let me know if there is some kind of error. I really am hoping that there is some error that is on the system, because the numbers are absolutely scary, not at all ideal. So what I want you to do is, when you go to DAppRadar, look at the number of unique active wallets interacting with decentralized apps. particularly to do with NBA Top Shot. And unfortunately, guys, the number is well less than 3,500 users. Now, the second one is Solitaire Blitz, that is working on the Flow blockchain. And finally, Trick Shots, and the number of users, guys, is less than 1,500 users. So what I want you to do is, guys, go to DAppRadar, look at any blockchain protocol, and then make sure you look at number of unique proactive wallets interacting with decentralized app smart contracts. Now listen, guys, we talk so much about blockchain, we talk so much about decentralization, trying to change the world, but unfortunately, guys, if you look at the number of daily active users, it is definitely not ideal. Now, guys, let's look at the king of all kings, that is Bitcoin. It is not looking good, and it is currently at $27,425, and since the last 24 hours, it is down by 0.18%, and since the last 7 days, it is down by 6.80%. And we have another prediction which says that by the year end, the price of Bitcoin will touch $100,000, and Ethereum currently, guys, is at $1,839. And if you think of it, if the price of Bitcoin were to touch $100,000, I'm pretty much sure the price of Ethereum should surpass the $50,000 mark. Extremely unlikely. Now, since the last 24 hours, so far as the price of Ethereum is concerned, it is down by 0.57%. Since the last 7 days, it is down by 11.50%. And Binance BNB coin, guys, is at $331. So keep an eye on what is going on in the price of Binance BNB coin, because as and when this news is surrounding regarding Binance's operations in Russia, I'm pretty much sure the prices will definitely be impacted. Now, since the last 24 hours, it is marginally up by 1.04%, and since the last 7 days, it is down by 2.82%. And look, guys, one thing which I've said often in my podcast is Bitcoin price predictions are 100% right 50% of the time. And Jeff Kendrick, the head of digital asset research for Standard Chartered, says that Bitcoin could reach $100,000 by year-end 2024, saying that the so-called crypto winter is over. Now, for context, guys, Citi, an analyst for Citi rather, in November of 2020, did actually make a bold prediction that Bitcoin could climb as high as $318,000. And what happened? By year-end 2022, the price of Bitcoin closed at $16,500. And listen, guys, there have been some numerous wild predictions regarding the price of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. Now, one thing you need to remember, guys, with the US debt ceiling heading towards the moon, and most likely by July or even sooner, the debt ceiling could be crashed. Now, keeping the recent banking collapse in US and the geopolitical chaos, could we be leading towards a world of hyper-Bitcoinization? Now, I've given my thoughts and opinion on what I think of hyper-Bitcoinization, but let me know what your thoughts are. I definitely don't think that the price of Bitcoin would reach anywhere near $100,000. Listen, guys, the only reason why people make these price predictions is simple. These individuals, celebrities, multimillionaires, multi-billionaires, and influencers, and key decision makers, they have an X number of Bitcoins, and because there is no central entity involved, and because Bitcoin supply is fixed, they want to create the demand for Bitcoin, and in doing that, people will buy more Bitcoin, the price of Bitcoin will increase, and their own existing net worth in Bitcoin will increase. And that's solely the reason why Jeff Kendrick and many others have been giving out really wild predictions so far as the price of Bitcoin is concerned. So it's really interesting to see what happens by the year end 2024. But what are your price predictions, guys? If you do have any wild predictions, mention them in the comments below. Now, guys, let's discuss some news from North Korea. Now, what happened is that the US Department of Treasury's Office of Foreign Assets Control, also called as OFAC, sanctioned 3 individuals for providing support to the Democratic People's Republic of Korea, also called as DPRK, through illicit financing and malicious cyber activity. Now, since late of 2017, you need to understand that the Democratic People's Republic of Korea has been engaged in virtual currency thefts and fraud schemes to generate revenue for its unlawful ballistic missile and weapons of mass destruction programs. So the big question is, what did the US Treasury's Office of Foreign Asset Control, also called as OFAC, do, and what did they do? So let me try to explain. So essentially, the OFAC sanctioned 3 individuals for providing support to the Democratic People's Republic of Korea through illicit financing and malicious cyber activity. Now, Woo Hui and Chang Hong Man were designated for providing material support to the Lazarus Group, which was involved in cyber espionage, data theft, monetary heist, and destructive malware operations. And Shin Hyun Sop was designated for acting on behalf of Korea Kwangsun Banking Corp, also called as KKBC, an entirely previously designated EO 13382 that is an authority that targets proliferators of WND and the supporters and guards the DPRK, that is the Democratic People's Republic of Korea's illicit facilitation network access the international financial system and generate revenue using virtual currencies for the regime's unlawful weapons of mass destructions, WMB and ballistic missile program. And look, as the US and its partners are committed to safeguarding the international financial system and preventing its use in DPRK's destabilizing activities. So definitely massive news. Now guys, while I was preparing for this podcast, in just a few minutes, I did read another update on this, and the North Korean Foreign Trade Bank representative has also been charged with crypto laundering conspiracies. Now if you want to find out more information, the US Department of Justice has just published this report literally a few minutes ago while I was preparing for this podcast. So what are the charges against North Korea Foreign Trade Bank representative Sim Yeon-sop, who's one of the 3 members that was recently unsealed in the District of Columbia? So Sim Yeon-sop has been charged with 2 separate money laundering conspiracies designed to generate revenue for Democratic People's Republic of Korea through the use of cryptocurrencies. And according to court documents, guys, Sim allegedly conspired with over-the-counter or OTC cryptocurrency traders to use stolen funds to buy goods for North Korea and with North Korean IT workers to generate revenue through illicit employment at blockchain development companies in the United States of America. Now listen to this, guys. The first indictment involves a conspiracy between Sim and 3 OTC traders to launder stolen funds from virtual currency exchange hacks to make payments in the US dollars for goods on behalf of the North Korean government. And the second indictment involves a conspiracy between Sim and various North Korean IT workers to launder proceeds of illegal IT development work, where the IT workers gain employment at US blockchain development companies using fake identities and then launder their ill-gotten gains through Sim for the benefit of the North Korean regime and in contravention of sanctions imposed against the North Korea by Department of Treasury's Office of Foreign Assets Control or OFAC and the United Nations. Now look guys, this is absolutely scary. Now particularly when you're looking for employment details, I really am not sure how do you verify these details, because working in the blockchain space is relatively new, and if you look at LinkedIn profiles, people can easily go ahead and manipulate the credentials, and looks like this is something which has unfortunately happened and been manipulated by 3 individuals from North Korea. So definitely not ideal, and it's great that the sanctions are in place. Now guys, let's discuss some news regarding Binance. Now listen to this guys, at this point of time, I really am not sure if this is official news, because unfortunately I could not get key details of official information. So the news essentially was published in Being Crypto website, and they have reported that Binance ends Russia's account limit as the country uses tech to bypass sanctions. So now Binance is allowing users to make payments with Russian bank cards for the very first time since March. And guys, Crypto Slate, they have also published an article. Now Crypto Slate's article does refer to a website called as RBC, which is from Russia, and RBC actually reported that Binance Russian users are still restricted from peer-to-peer transactions in US dollars and euros. And RBC also reported that the technical support team wrote that Russian users could deposit beyond £10,000 on the platform and use them for trading. So looks like guys, Binance is kind of trying to cheat the system. Now the reason why I'm saying that this may not necessarily be official news, because we do not know who has given out this information. And mind you guys, Binance Russian users are still restricted from peer-to-peer transactions in US dollars and euros, and RBC, which is a website in Russia, added that this restriction is a blanket ban for all residents of Russia. And in April 2022, Binance imposed strict restrictions on Russians with assets exceeding £10,000 on its platform. At this point of time, the exchange cited that European Union's 5th package restriction on Russia for its decision. So really, I'm not sure if Binance is trying to do that, and if at all they were to do it, why would they do it? It does not make any sense. But this is definitely news that is circulating in the cryptocurrency world. Now guys, let's discuss 2 news from Dubai, UAE and the Middle East. Now first news is from Abu Dhabi, and the Regulatory Authority of Abu Dhabi Global Market or ADGM has issued this consultation paper to seek views on its proposed new framework for foundation that facilitate distributed ledger technology, often called as DLT, and token issuance or DLT foundations. So let me try to give out some information. Now guys, if you do want to find out more information, the website is ADGM, that is A for Alpha, D for David, G for George, and for Mother.com. And ADGM guys informs public and marketplace plans, unveils comments on proposed initiatives and rule amendments through public consultation. So this newscast was updated on the 13th of April, and the closing date in order to give any feedback is the 12th of May 2023. And listen to this, guys. The document that they have released is only 13 pages long. What I'd really recommend you to do is read through it, especially for someone if you're working in the DLT space, if you're working into the cryptocurrency and blockchain space. Read through this because this consultation should be of interest to any person operating or planning DLT projects, persons engaging in digital asset related activities, and the legal advisors, as well as DLT industry participants, associations, and stakeholders. Now, guys, if you do have any comments, you can drop them an email at consultation@adgm.com. I'm definitely going to have a read through it, and if I do have any points that I'd like to share, I'll definitely drop them an email. And guys, ADGM has received interest concurring the use of AGDM Foundation of DLT purposes and the issuance of non-regulated utility tokens. However, while foundations are inherently well suited for DLT projects or distributed ledger technology projects, there are certain features and requirements within their current foundation regimes that are not desirable for DLT projects, and the regulatory authority, recognizing the overall suitability of foundation structures for DLT projects and in line with ADGM strategy to facilitate and support crypto initiative, is preparing a new legislative framework to cater to DLT projects and token issuance. So definitely brilliant stuff. If you go through the 13-page PDF, they have 3 questions that they want feedback on, and this, guys, would make sense if you actually read through it. But let me just read out what the question is so you can keep this thing in mind while you're reading through the paper. So the first question that they essentially have is, do you have any concerns with or feedback on the proposals concerning token holder rights in connection with its insolvency? The second question is, do you agree with our proposal not to introduce segregated cells in the new regime? And finally, guys, do you have any concerns with or feedback on the proposals concerning liquidation and voluntary strike-off of the DLT Foundation? Now, what I would recommend you to do is, guys, these 13 pages, you can put it into ChatGPT, and if you do have access to maybe GPT-4, you can put it onto GPT-4 and ask them to thoroughly analyze it. And I'm pretty much sure someone from ADGM would have probably already done that. So what I'm going to do is, I'm definitely going to read through it, and then I'm going to ask ChatGPT or probably any additional artificial intelligence platforms to reassess it and send a feedback. Now, the deadline for providing comments on the proposed framework is 12th of May, that is Friday in 2023, and after receiving the comments, they shall consider whether any modifications are required to the proposals, and the ADGM Board of Directors will then proceed to enact the proposal in the final form. Because you need to remember that you should not act on these proposals until final amendment regulations are issued by the board, and they will issue a notice on the website when that thing happens. And once again, guys, if you want to drop them an email, it is at consultation@adgm. Now, guys, let's discuss the second news, and this is an event which is taking place on the 20th of June. Now, usually, guys, in my Crypto and Coffee Date podcast, I don't like to cover events, but this might be one of those events that I'd like to talk about, and this event is called as Digital Future Forum. So let me try to give out some bits and pieces of information, because the theme of this event is empowering the future and navigating the digital economy. Now, the website for this, guys, is www.idp.events/ITP-Net Digital Future Forum. Now, the website might be looking ridiculously long. If you do want to find out, go to Google and just type in Digital Future Forum by ITP Events. And this event is going to take place on the 20th of June at an iconic location in Dubai at the Governor House. And guys, the world as we know it is constantly evolving, and digital transformation is one of the main forces behind these changes. And guys, in order to thrive in the digital age, it is essential for countries to grasp and adapt to an economic framework that is based on digitization, known as the digital economy. And GCC countries are recognizing the massive opportunities in the digital economy and are ramping up national strategies such as the UAE Digital Government Strategy 2025. And guys, as we know, in Saudi Arabia, they have Saudi Vision 2030 that will put them at the forefront of economic development. So digital transformation is definitely here to stay. Now, going back to the event, guys, the Digital Future Forum is hosted by ITP.net and is poised to delve into the profound impact of digital technologies on economic growth and prosperity in the region. And this highly anticipated event will equip participants with a holistic comprehension of the current opportunities and challenges that are driving the digital economy and elucidate how they can leverage these factors to achieve growth and success within their own organizations. And attendees, guys, can expect to gain valuable insights and practical strategies to navigate this dynamic landscape and emerge poised to seize the immense potential of the digital economy. Look guys, go to the website because the conference agenda does cover a lot of things. Unfortunately guys, when I was going through that, I could not get any information regarding Bitcoin. Now because this event is about digital future, I'm pretty much sure they're going to be talking about blockchain technology as such. But listen to this guys, the narrative ideally should be Bitcoin, not blockchain. Now if you go to the conference agenda, they're definitely going to be having some talks on metaverse, and they have an opening remark, and they're going to be discussing building a digital economy. And let me just read out some of the key interesting topics, because they have a session on digital leadership where they're going to be exploring scaling up digitization to enable societal and business success. And they're going to be having a fire chat where they're going to be discussing raising global economic competitiveness in the digital era, and it's crucial to see where Dubai, and it's going to be really critical to see what role Dubai as a city plays, not just in the Middle East but also for the rest of the world. And there are sessions on digital leadership where they're going to be discussing scaling up digitization to enable societal and business successes. And they're going to be having a panel session, guys, where they're going to be discussing evolving to thrive in the digital economy. A fire chat session where they're going to be discussing forging strong tech foundations for the digital future, and also a panel by chief information officers, and they're going to be exploring leading the charge in the digital revolution. And so far as smart city is concerned, they're also going to be discussing how Dubai and UAE is going to be embracing the digital revolution for a livable future. Most likely guys, I might be attending this event, and they're going to be having a fire chat as well, where they're going to be exploring the vital role of digital twins in smart cities. And this is the whole notion and hype of metaverse. And they're going to be having conversations where they're going to be discussing about enabling a cyber-resilient digital economy, and they're going to be exploring the future of work, that is exploring new opportunities and navigating challenges. And they also have a leadership panel, and I believe they're going to be discussing innovation imperative and business success in the age of digital transformation, a panel session discussing scaling the enterprise with low-code digital transformation, and also a chat session on the shape of supply chain in the digital economy, and also metaverse and the new digital economy. And guys, as you know, Dubai wants to change GDP and change it to metaverse domestic product. I really am not sure what the update on that is, and the session is going to end with a panel where they're going to be ushering an era of sustainability, inclusivity and diversity. So definitely brilliant stuff. So those were the news guys from Crypto and Coffee Update from Blockchain DXB. In case if you have any feedback or suggestions, please drop me an email to info@blockchaindxb.com. Check out my website www.blockchaindxb.com, and also check out my other website area2071.com that talks everything about metaverse. And guys, if you like listening to this podcast, please click on the follow button, give it a 5-star rating and share the word across. Now for the next few minutes is going to be an Ask Me Anything series where you listeners can ask any questions regarding Bitcoin, blockchain, beyond blockchain, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, DeFi and metaverse. So let's kick start with the Ask Me Anything series. Hey everyone, it's George from Blockchain DXB. You're listening to the Ask Me Anything series, where you listeners can ask any questions regarding Bitcoin, blockchain, beyond blockchain, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, DeFi, and metaverse. I have a question by Cecilia who asks, will Binance get penalized for what is going on in Russia? To be honest, Cecilia, I really am not sure if this news is legitimate or not. And even if this news is legitimate, I really am not sure how will they prove that Binance is done. Because if you read through the article, I really am not sure if this is legitimate news or not in the first place. Also, you need to understand, Cecilia, that this news has to do with Russia. So I really am not sure who's going to penalize Binance, because so far as US is concerned, Binance USA is a completely separate entity, and they have a different CEO as well. So Binance USA is a completely different entity, and Binance, which has an office in China, is a completely different entity. So I really am not sure who will penalize for it. Now, it could be possible that companies in Europe and associations in Europe could go ahead and penalize Binance from China, but at this point of time, it's too early to tell, because US, to be honest, Cecilia, has no jurisdiction on what Binance is doing in Russia, considering all the drama going on. But what could happen is SEC, or Security Exchange Commission, could aggressively use this point because of the ongoing drama that is going on so far as Binance BNB is concerned and Binance BUSD is concerned. So this point of time, it's really too early to tell. But to give you my honest opinion, I don't think that Binance will be penalized for it. And looks like, and I need to do probably more research on this, Cecilia, looks like few customers from Russia did have a chat conversation with Binance, and one of the representatives from Binance might have told them about the extension of £10,000. So it's going to be really interesting to see if there is an official document which is being sent out to its employees. Now, if that thing happens, I'm pretty much sure that will have absolutely severe consequences for Binance. So until and unless we get the official email which has been told, or any circular or some kind of update given to employees stating that it's okay to go ahead and deposit more than £10,000 in order to do trading, then I'm pretty much sure Binance will be in serious troubles. But other than that, I don't think so to make any impact in the world of Binance. So that's all for today, guys, from the Ask Me Anything series on Blockchain DXB. In case if you have any feedback or suggestions, please drop me an email to info@blockchaindxb.com, and also check out my website www.blockchaindxb.com, and also check out my website area2071.com. And guys, if you like listening to this podcast, please click on the follow button, give it a 5-star rating, and share the word across. And guys, I'm actively looking for sponsors for my podcast. Now, if you know of anyone, or if you do want to sponsor any of these episodes, drop me an email to info@blockchaindxb.com, and I'm pretty much sure we can work something out. And guys, remember, Monday to Thursdays, 8 a.m. to 8:30 a.m. we have Crypto and Coffee at 8, where we cover top news and information pertaining to Bitcoin, blockchain, beyond blockchain, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, DeFi, and Metaverse. And now the series of episodes that Crypto and Coffee at 8 works is, we usually cover some top news and information pertaining to the price of cryptocurrencies, some major breaking news, occasionally short and sweet news as well, news that has an impact in the cryptocurrency world. The other two news and information is related to Dubai, UAE, and Middle East, and the world of Bitcoin, blockchain, beyond blockchain, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, DeFi, and Metaverse. And what you're listening to right now is the Ask Me Anything series, where your listeners can ask any questions regarding Bitcoin, blockchain, beyond blockchain, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, DeFi, and Metaverse. Thanks so much for listening, and have a nice one. Bye-bye.